Hello, everybody, and welcome to madison.com and our Week 6 prep rally. We're here at Mansfield Stadium. Dennis Semrau, Rob Hernandez. Dennis, we're here because, once again, Sun Prairie involved in a huge ball game this week off on the heels of their win last week over LaFollette. They come here to Mansfield Stadium Friday night, 7:30 p.m., to take on the unbeaten Memorial Spartans in a showdown game. Another one in the Big 8 Conference. This one, though, is going to showcase a lot of athletes.
Did you say Week 6?
Week 6, Dennis. It's
wow.
Week 6.
Wow. And who would have thought Madison Memorial unbeaten at this point? Probably only the guys on the team. I don't know anybody in our profession thought maybe they might have a loss or two. But after watching the first game against Middleton, I was impressed from day one. They went through some adversity a week ago with the incident after the game and rebounded very well last week.
Yeah, I got to see that game. They rebounded with a big 17-14 win over at Verona. And Dennis, I was impressed with a number of things. First of all, as you mentioned, how the Spartans handled themselves. They were a class act on and off the field before, during, and after that ball game, so that should be made clear right away. But during the ball game, a lot of the things that you don't maybe expect out of a Madison Memorial team came to bear again. A ball control offense, which is really, I think, something to behold when you have that many athletes on the field and you can throw the ball and go for the big yardage play. Memorial really patient offensively. That impressed me. And defensively, they came up with big stops. Now, can they make the big stop again this week? That's probably the key to the game here against Sun Prairie.
Again, we keep talking about the sophomores, and Dringa and Jason have played outstanding, but that whole unit from day one has really taken it up kind of another level. This week they will really be tested by a Sun Prairie offense that, people were wondering what happened to Sun Prairie. Remember, they had to replace 4 offensive linemen to start with. They had a couple other key graduation losses. Even though you got a veteran quarterback and a receiver and Craig Evans back to anchor the defense, it's still a whole different team than the one that went to state last year. So I think the bar was really raised, and we're saying, well, where's this super team? These are high school kids. Sun Prairie's right where they should be. They're unbeaten. They're 5-0. Here's another big game, and they're used to a lot of big games. The pressure's more on Memorial this week. Why? They're not used to being in this situation playing for a conference title.
Plus, I think Sun Prairie might be the sleeping giant, Dennis, and they might have been awoken last week against LaFollette. A 300-yard rusher and some really good things offensively.
Yeah, that just amazes me how many weapons they have, what they can do on offense. And again, it was getting that offensive line in sync. And Ryan Curran, a 3-year starter quarterback, you can't buy that kind of experience.
All right, so that's the big game here in the Big 8 Conference. Madison Memorial playing host to Sun Prairie, 7:30 Friday. Dennis, the Badger North, Badger South, all of a sudden with 2 big games. We knew that Fort MG would be a big one. A lot of athleticism at Fort Atkinson. Many thought that would be the team to knock off MG. MG coming off the win over Edgewood. They are right where we all thought they would be.
Right. You look at Monona Grove, getting Jaden Galt back. How big was that? Just to anchor that offensive line. First play from scrimmage, where did Blaine go? Right behind Jaden for a 12-yard gain. His 2 one-yard touchdown runs, he told him in the huddle, I'm going behind you. Give me a hole, big guy, and he did. He is every bit 6'7", 300 pounds, a very good athlete who's also got a very big honor. He's going to be playing in the Army All-American game. Was invited to play in that.
That's right.
I believe he'll be the 14th player from Wisconsin to be invited to play, or 14th player with a Wisconsin scholarship, and the 13th player from the state to play in that game.
And Badger North on Friday night. All of a sudden, Dennis, a big game in Reedsburg. DeForest at Reedsburg. Reedsburg did the amazing thing last week by knocking off Wanakee at home. First home loss in, I think,
1998.
98. I don't think Dennis had a beard the last time Wanakee lost at home. And Dennis now Reedsburg with the Norskis, the prohibitive favorite now based on some of the games we've seen so far, having to win a big ball game without looking ahead to Wanakee in Week 9. All of a sudden, the balance of power has kind of shifted a little bit for a couple weeks.
Yeah, you look at in 2009 what happened. We had the three-way with DeForest, Reedsburg, and Wanakee. Well, you could have that this year with Mount Horeb-Barneveld in that mix as well. And the last time that DeForest won a title by itself was 1986. You think back, Wanakee's been that dominant. They've shared a couple of titles. They want to win this one outright. They came right off of the big win over Mount Horeb-Barneveld, held Portage to 1 yard rushing, 28 carries, and 50 yards, I believe, total offense. Outstanding performance.
Well, we'll be interested to watch that ball game up at Millennium Field in Reedsburg. DeForest at Reedsburg. Dennis, we can go up and down the list this week. Capital North, Poinet Lodi, a big game there. Both win their openers last week.
Garrett Ballant and Fred Mankey, a name that we're going to hear a lot of this year's senior year. He's an outstanding baseball player as well. Their running game was just incredible last week over Lake Mills, 56-6. But this game, throughout the records, throughout everything else, it's Lodi Point Net, the very big rivalry in the north.
In the south, Cambridge, Waterloo. Waterloo loses the tight ball game last week to Marshall. They have to play host to Cambridge, an unbeaten team in the Capital South. Dennis Six Rivers Conference, Potosi Blackhawk. That's a Saturday game down in South Wayne. Both of those teams unbeaten, but they would still have to get through Peck Argyle, the winner, to win any conference title outright. That's another one that's looking like it could be a triangle share. Southwest Wisconsin Conference. River Valley's been playing some real good football. They're at Lancaster, and boy, the Lancaster Flying Arrows have been putting up the points.
I wish we could have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday games this week, and we could clone ourselves. And we still probably couldn't get to all the big games.
Rock Valley North, Jefferson, Evansville, Albany, another one. Week 6, Dennis, we saw a few teams clinch playoff berths last week. A whole lot more will clinch this week. This is exciting.
It is definitely. The weather's been very cooperative. We hope we get one more good week.
All right. For Dennis Summerall, Rob Hernandez, thanks for watching the Week 6 Prep Rally. We remind you, tune in Friday night. All these big games, we'll have scores and updates throughout the night on wisconsinprepzone.com and our live blog. For Dennis Summerall, Rob Hernandez, we'll see you at the stadium.